Hey guys, Joe here with Fence Pro Solutions, and I have something exciting, possibly. So I was driving to Costco and I had this kind of breakthrough, and I just want to kind of lay it out for you guys. So I've always been contemplating how I can take someone with, basically zero experience and then get them to, from ground zero to, their end game, whatever that is. If it's going to be, for me, it's how quickly I can get to where I, basically retire. For you, it may be just have financial stability or, whatever it may be. So, the plan I thought of, the acronym is going to be ASAP, like ASAP. So, and really it's, well, because how the words played out, but then it's also because I am very geared into results and how quickly I can go from, wherever I am to wherever I want to be as quickly as possible. So the first letter in ASAP is going to be awareness. And that's basically, people have to know who you are in order for them to even be able to use you. And this really depends on what style of business you have. So some people want to start their own fence company or have their own fence company. So you would need to attract the, the customers, right? And that could be through a few different things. First step, in my opinion, would be the Google My Business, or they change it to Google Business. After that would be the reviews, and then from there, Google Ads, and then after that, SEO. Okay, the next letter in the acronym is going to be sales. So obviously, once you get them to start calling you, you have to be able to sell the fence job. And it's not even so much just sales, the actual selling of the fence, but are you attracting the right kind of customer? That's something that we're kind of fighting against right now. We're not fighting against, we're trying to tweak and change our online, profile, so that way we're attracting the right customer. Because for us, we are, well, a few things. One, we're more expensive than most other companies, but we do offer a much better, customer service aspect. So we're looking for that specific type of customer. We're also looking for a customer that doesn't mind playing by our rules. A lot of customers are used to, especially when dealing with contractors, like, we want this, we want that. Whereas we only provide certain types of services, and we only provide it a certain type of way. One of those key things that we do that most other companies don't is we sell over the phone. So pretty much we will land a job over the phone for the most part. Before we used to go out to 50, 60 quotes a week. Now we only go up to like 8 to 10, but we're booking pretty much all those jobs. So we're basically having the same results, but not wasting a lot of time at this point. So if you're interested, you'd be crazy not to, but to learn the system that we use, we do have a free, always say we, but it's just me. I have a free guide that I made up for, I think it's like 15 pages, but it basically breaks down exactly how we basically sell jobs over the phone. You can get that on fenceprosolutions.com. It's right on the front homepage. I think a pop-up comes up for you. And definitely get that. And again, like I said, so that's the sales aspect. Also, you have to work on the website, like that kind of thing, so you're attracting the right kind of customer. After that, once you basically have people know that you exist, that are calling, and then you're able to sell them a job, the next thing you have to do is work, and the next layer is accounting. So obviously with accounting, you have to be profitable as a company, because you're not just doing this for the hell of it. Like, you're not just doing it for fun or a hobby. Like, obviously you need to make money to support yourself. So for that, first things first is really knowing your numbers. So for a while I thought my bills or my expenses were this, but turns out I started going through everything, through the P&Ls and everything else, and it's like, no, it's really not this, per week that we need to make in profit to even just break even. It's really, we have to make this number, which is fine, but the key is, like, you have to know your numbers. Like, if you don't know your numbers or you don't know your goals, then you don't know where you're going to go. So I have a spreadsheet, again, on fenceprosolutions.com that helps with breaking down all your numbers. It will also, once you put in all this information, you will, and how much that your workers make, you will know how much that you need to charge for, repairs or, just oddball stuff. and it'll be surprising to you because it's probably a hell of a lot more. Like, you think that your guys cost you like 18 bucks an hour, 15 an hour, or whatever it may be. No, it's really much more than that because of all your expenses within the business. So again, that's on Fence Pro Solutions. Definitely check that out. And then the other thing that would be going in that, again, is daily targets and really quarterly targets, but then it's weekly and monthly, and it's basically just knowing your numbers. So once you have those done, the last step in the piece of the puzzle is last letter's P, and that is procedures. So, or if you want to sorry, so it's procedures. So or systems, whatever you want to call it, but in mine I'm calling it procedures just because that's what that's what the letter needed to be. So that's basically putting all the pieces of the puzzle together at that point. That's where you're really writing down exactly what happens. So what do you want to happen when someone calls? How do you want them to answer the phone? How do you want to sell the job? How do you want to go out and handle your consultations, on-site consultations? How do you want your crews to install the fence? What do you want it to look like after they leave? Do you have a checklist? Do you not have a checklist? Like, it just breaks down everything. And the purpose of that is so that way you can actually have a business. Because up until this point, if you are still answering the phone calls, the emails, going out to quotes and installing jobs and everything else, you don't have a business, you have a job. And the worst part about this job is that there are so many expenses and possible issues that you may have that you wouldn't have at a regular 9-to-5 job. So that's where we bring this stuff in. At this point, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I probably for the past 2 years now, I only work about an hour a day, if that, on this particular business. I work on other projects. I'm sorry, not with this business. I'm sorry, with my fence company, Deptford Fence. With this, I've been spending a lot of times for Fence Pro Solutions as far as producing videos and everything else that you'll see shortly. But for the most part, I don't work. My wife was the one that really was taking care of the day-to-day operations, but because we had a child at the end of April, and for the end of April, it's one of the worst times to have a child for New Jersey for fencing, especially this year because of COVID. Like, the call volume was so crazy, 50 to 80 phone calls a day. So we started documenting all the process, and we were able to take off for weeks at a time, and the business still ran. Obviously there were still phone calls and stuff here and there, but for the most part, like, we were probably working about a half hour a day, if that, just answering phone calls or questions from the staff. And because the staff hasn't been here for years, it's not like it's some insurmountable task that just can't happen. The salesperson we had or have, they only started this year. They started in February. Okay, so by April, like, they're off and running on their own. Did they need improvement? 100% yes, but we're working on that now. And then we have another person that basically took over my wife's position, that she really just started taking that over this year. And because of the documenting every process, once they had to do something, the way we use it is Google Docs, but I do videos for most everything. So, like, if you want them to do setting up a customer a certain way, well, show them a damn video on how to set up a customer. Like, they literally watch it. It's kind of like you physically walking them through, but you don't have to do it anymore. So, anyway, I'm super excited about this whole concept. I really feel great about it. I just have to kind of put it all together. But if you are someone that's just starting out that would like to grow as quickly as possible and get off on the right start, let me know, and I'd love to work with you. I'm probably picking 1 or 2 people at this point. Actually, probably 1 because of time. But I just want to put it out there that if you're the type of person that produces more excuses than results, I don't want to talk to you. Excuses are a waste of time. Complaining is a waste of time. So if you're not willing to put in some work and follow probably an easy system, then I don't need to talk to you. I'd rather talk to someone else. So, yeah, have a great day.